तो मेलो तिका पुलिसीन FIR घायल्लो 4 लोकांचेर. ते सामके आयका 4 लोकांचेर FIR घायल्लो. त्या 4 लोकांक अक्यूज म्हणून घायल्लो. एकलो अब्सकॉन्डिंग जालो, 3 जाण अरेस्ट केले, चार्जशीट फायल केलो. ते चार्जशीट आता सेशन्स कोर्टाक पावलो आनी एक कमिटल म्हणून आसता ते मर्डर आनी थिंगा सेशन्स जजान एडिशनल सेशन जजान डिस्चार्ज केलो 3 अक्यूज. अब्सकॉन्डिंग तो अजून आहा येवपाक, पूण 3 सेपरेट ऑर्डर वर्च्युअली आयडेंटिकल सांगपाक की देर वॉज एब्सोल्युटली नो एविडन्स टू prima facie connect the accused with the crime. Below, first thing is this justice? On justice, दोन्ही साइडीन उलोवपाक वयता तुमकां आतां. Justice for the victim's family and justice in the real sense of the word, which is called true justice. On the victim side, justice, म्हणलो कितें म्हणटा, it is injustice. म्हणलो तुवें कोणा बोकड्याक पिकअप केला आनी भितर घायला, ऑर ते फॉरे इनवॉल्व आसलो जाल्यार तुमी बरें इन्वेस्टिगेशन केल्ल्याक सोडपाक तांकां. कळ्ळें कितें म्हणटा तें समजलो की इन्वेस्टिगेशन इफ इट हॅड नो एविडन्स फ्रॉम द बिगिनींग कितें अरेस्ट केलो एंड यू केप्ट हिम लोकांक फटोवपाक, फॅमिलीक फटोवपाक की एका अरेस्ट केलो आमी आतां आनी मुख्यमंत्रीन कितें म्हणलें, वी वील परस्यू दीस केस एंड वी वील मेक शुअर जस्टीस इज डन म्हणल्यार प्रॉमीस केल्लें. आतां कितें जालां, 3 जाण सुटले आनी होच एविडन्स आहा, चवथोय सुट्टलो. तूं आयक म्हजें म्हणलो केस 0 केस. नाव लूक एट इट फ्रॉम अदर सायड. देखून म्हणल्यार 2 सायडीन पळयता. लूक एट इट फ्रॉम द पॉयंट ऑफ व्यू ऑफ एन अक्यूज्ड. म्हणल्यार तूं तो फरे इनवॉल्व ना जाल्यार, हे 3 जाण वा 4 जाण इनवॉल्व ना जाल्यार तूं हात लायल्यान अरेस्ट केलें तेंकां, इतल्या म्हयन्यान जेलीन भितर दवरलो. म्हणल्यार बेश्टे बोल खंयच्या मनशाक दाखोवपाक आमगे गोंयकारां फटोवपाक तुवें भितर उडयलें तेका. आनी वॉट हॅपन्स टू लायफ ऑफ एन अक्यूज्ड हू इज रॉंगली अक्यूज्ड. यू अंडरस्टँडिंग? दॅट्स व्हाय आय एम सेइंग इनजस्टीस 2 सायडीन आहा. एक ऑन द विक्टीम सायड and others is on the accused side. We have also to think, we have to be fair. In an investigation, it should be fair and honest. If a man is guilty, hang him. But if a man is innocent, don't arrest him, make him suffer trial and let him get discharged. Here there was a discharge, trial or not. कित्याक criminal case in एक FIR quashing असता, एक discharge आहा, charge sheet file करतली discharge आहा, आनी तिसरें एक्विटल आसा. एक्विटल केन्ना ट्रायल जातली, एक्विटल जाता. आतां ती सेकंड स्टेजीचेर म्हणजे FIR क्वॉश करून गेले ना ते चार्ज शीट टायमार गेले, आर्ग्यू केले केस ना म्हणून, आनी जुजान मानून गेला वय केस ना. आतां हांव प्रश्न विचारता, सरकार कितें करतलो? म्हणल्यार ते सुटले केस काबार आनी कोणा धरपाचें ना आनी चोवपाचें ना कोणा कितें जालां म्हणून, आनी कोण ते एक्चुअली आशिल्ले ते इनवॉल्व. म्हणल्यार इन्वेस्टिगेशन वॉज फ्लॉड, इन्वेस्टिगेशन वॉज फॉल्टी, फटोवपाक ते इन्वेस्टिगेशन केला. इफ दिस इज द फॅक्ट एज विच हॅज बीन स्पेल्ड आउट बाय द जज, माय क्वेश्चन इज why should not this investigation agency themselves be booked and be prosecuted for wrongly incarcerating somebody? दुसऱ्या मनशाक भलत्या मनशाक भितर गायलो, what happens to their life, what happens to their family, what happens to their standing in society? Don't think life cover kelo. See, I'm not talking that they are innocent, but if you are presenting a case which gives them discharge, that means 2 things: either you wrongly investigated or did no proper investigation, or second, they were actually not involved and you missed a guideline and so on. We demand explanations from the government because this is one of the fundamental things. Even when our public prosecutor ashilo tenna police सांगता innocent manam munchak arrest करना आनी कोण गिल्टी आहा तेका सोडना. दीस नाका तूं हायकोर्टान येतलो हांव NOC दितलो गिल्टी जाल्यार तो भितर वतलो इनोसंट जाल्यार तूं फोंडां पडटलो सो देखून हें म्हाका बरें लागना असले डिस्चार्ज मेळटा तेन्ना इन सच अ सेन्सिटीव केस थर्ड पार्टी आमी जाणात पॉलिटिकल केस असतात बेश्टे मनशा भितर पॉलिटिशियन भितर वतात मागीर तो सुट्टा म्हूण कितले म्हयन्याक कितले वर्सां थर्ड पार्टी जेली उरतात that is also another thing which I will discuss in length about the system of judiciary because bail dinat आणि म्हणटात prima facie case आसा म्हणून आनी मागीर लास्ट डिस्चार्ज दितात म्हणल्यार कितें चेंज जाल्लें 0 from beginning 0 at time of discharge so why should he have been inside for so long so this I will explain sometime later with more cases but this is one classic example which I think prosecution must be pulled up. I think the Home Department with the DGP has to review this case as to how this has happened. I call it a gross lapse and action must be taken to ensure justice is done in the full sense.
Gross lapse
prosecution, investigation officer, investigating agency. आता ना क्राइम ब्रांचान केल्ले पुलिस स्टेशनार केल्ले जाल्यार but whoever was the investigating agency it's a gross lapse either incompetence inexperience or deliberate mischief.
You said judiciary also not functioning.
No, what judiciary not functioning is not that. My question about that, when a man is prima facie not involved, then my question comes is, when jail is the rule and bail is bail is the rule and jail is the exception, then why should a man suffer incarceration if there is no case on the date of discharge? Remember, date of discharge म्हणलो कितें तूं FIR घातली एविडन्स कलेक्ट केला आनी तूं मागीर चार्जशीट फायल केला म्हणलो तुका एटलिस्ट कितें एविडन्स आसतलें आनी त्या दिसा तूं गेलो आनी कोर्ट म्हणटा कांय ना म्हूण म्हणलो तुका केस पयलीं घायली तेन्ना कांय नाशिल्लें आनी तूं कांय इम्प्रूव केलो ना हाडपाक कितें मॅटर मटिरियल डेटा एनालिसीस फॉरेन्सीक कांय हाडलो ना आनी ते नासतना तूं चार्जशीट फायल केलें सो did they go through a director of prosecution? Did they get the director of prosecution also look at the charge sheet and point out flaws, ask queries, or you were in a hurry just to file charge sheet because they were inside the custody to jana the time frame asa to charge sheet file करना जाल्यार टायमार भितर ते सुट्टात default bail म्हणून आसता but you don't file charge sheet for the sake of filing charge sheet and लोकांक फटोवपाक.
सर तुम्ही हायर अथॉरिटी कन्सर्न डिपार्टमेंटाक लेटर बा करतले और इन फ्युचर एनी केसीस तुम्ही बा इंटरव्हेंट जातले असले?
No, this is not simply like this. Everything we can't keep running and this thing. It is for the government to immediately act on this because we will see this as a series of actions. I will explain to you another thing. This is actually a murder case which we found that he was murdered murder. What about those cases ते पॉलिटिशियनाचे घातात मागीर ते BJPन जॉइन जातात वॉशिंग मशीनात ड्राय क्लीन करतात आनी मागीर ते सुट्टात कांय केस ना म्हणून. That is all. I will come to that part of it in more in detail with more cases. Kita, it's just not a loose statement I am making about I want support from judiciary. Ani tumi podel astole. Even few days back, Dushan Dave, who was in an interview with Kapil Sibal, also spoke about this on the same lines which I am speaking. Of this support of the judiciary is needed to vindicate fundamental rights and especially the right of liberty of a citizen.
I mean, any political angle is there?
I don't think there's any politics. To me, I don't see that there was any political angle. See, first, I don't know Umakant Court. I didn't hear if there was any political connection or affiliation of him or his family with anybody. Then third is, at least I have not heard of any whispers of politicians being involved. But maybe sometimes certain politicians may be brokers, certain politicians may be having interest, some politicians may be facilitator in that sale of the land. But I don't know.
Then why the police was in so hurry to?
That is, they can answer it, not me. I'm putting the question. I'm the question person in Allah. One thing I'm saying, the hurry of filing charge sheet is because they were inside. If you don't file the charge sheet within that time limit, depending on the offense, then default bail met jatega. But that does not mean third party ke jata. Let him be on default bail. Default bail does not mean acquittal. Ugras dorta. Because you must do a thorough investigation and present the case in the court.
जर तुम्ही म्हणले भायले लोक येऊन हांगसर जमीन हडप करता आणि लोकांक हांगसर दादागिरी करता म्हणले भायले लोक येऊन त्याच प्रमाणे तुम्ही पळोवपाक शकता कारापूर हांगा
That's okay, fine. Thank you.
तुम्ही एकटोच वचून ऑपोजिशन लीडर
That's okay. See, every time you ask me the same question, which I told you I will give you an answer at a proper time.
when